So I was just checking the date of episode 99, which is obviously the episode I uploaded before this episode, and it was uploaded on the 20th of September, and today is the 21st of October. Hopefully I'll get the video, or this video, out on the 21st of October, because it shouldn't really take too long to edit. So, we finally reached episode 100. Obviously, apologies that this video has taken a month, but as I've mentioned on Twitter, and I think I'll have mentioned it in the previous episode as well, I kind of went on holiday for 2 weeks, and I kind of needed like a week after getting back to get back into like the rhythm of my life again, work and all that. And yeah, it's time to start recording again. So, now I did kind of say a few episodes ago that there was a big chance that once we actually win the Premier League, that could bring the series to an end. And I think given that the FM18 beta comes out in literally a week's time, I've given it a lot of thought, and it kind of feels like this save has kind of run its course, if that makes sense. Probably run its course in terms of it being a YouTube series, but on a personal level, I still feel like I've got quite a lot of unfinished business in this save. So what I've actually decided to do is, because I want to start streaming Football Manager more and start growing my stream alongside my YouTube channel, where the growth for like a year, well, it's been, I think I started YouTube like just under a year ago, and to have hit 1.3k subscribers, or we're really close to hitting 1.3k subscribers, I never even thought we'd get anywhere near that amount. So massive shout out to everyone watching who is subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, then you should be subscribed. It helps out a lot, especially if you like the video. But yeah, I feel like this save now is going to be something that I'm going to try and stream regularly. But at the same time, at the end of every 6 months, like every January transfer window, or maybe at the end of every season, let me know what you prefer in the comments. I'll probably still make another episode just to update people who might not be able to watch my stream all the time to get the update on FM17. And I will keep streaming this save when FM18 comes out. Obviously, I will also be streaming FM18 alongside a lot of FM18 videos on this channel, but like I said, I still feel like I've not had enough of FM17 yet. I've not had enough of this save yet, so it is now going to become what I stream. And we've got a lot of exciting youngsters, and we're only in 2022 as well. And if you think about it, we're only 5 or 6 years ahead, so still a lot of awesome FM, I think, to be played in this save. And hopefully you guys can join me on Twitch, and we can, you know, take it on together. But yeah, let me know in the comments whether you think 6-month updates or seasonally updates for this save would be a good idea for YouTube, because I know a lot of people won't be able to watch the stream, and a lot of people probably still, given that I'll still be playing this save, want to keep updated with how it's going for some reason. So credit to you if that's you. Let me know what you prefer. So just before we put an end to things, I think it's about time we just see what's happening in the rest of the world, shall we? So, obviously, we won the Premier League. We could have actually made it a quadruple thingamabob, or whatever it was, because we won the Community Shield. We won the EFL Cup, I think we did. Yep, we won the EFL Cup, beating United 2-0 in the final. And then we found ourselves in the Champions League semi-final, where we lost to Napoli on away goals. I still can't believe we lost that. So who actually won the Champions League final? It's going to be either Napoli or Bayern. And that's really frustrating, because obviously Napoli didn't play that well against us. And at the same time, we had Bayern in our group, and they weren't exactly great either. I think we beat them once and drew against them once. But credit where it's due to Carlo Ancelotti, because I think when we initially played Bayern Munich, they were like 7th in the Bundesliga, so it looks like they are on the verge of turning it around, but I'm not exactly quite sure whether or not they're going to retain the title. Yeah, that's the end of the Bundesliga, so this is what I was talking about, some poor fixtures up there, and it has actually cost Bayern Munich the Bundesliga by the looks of things, even though it doesn't say anything on the right-hand side. So, yeah, that's that. But they could still end up being European champions, which for me sums up how good Bayern Munich are and how good of a manager Ancelotti is. We then played Man City in the previous episode in the FA Cup final, and I'm not quite sure how we lost that game as well. But yeah, they scored in the final minute. But hey, when we started this save, the aim was always to bring the Premier League trophy back to Ewood Park, back to Blackburn Rovers. They won the Premier League the year I was born. I am a Blackburn Rovers fan. I have to go watch them probably lose in League One against Portsmouth in about 2 hours' time, which isn't going to be fun. But yeah, we've achieved what we came to achieve. So let's check what's going on in the rest of the world. First of all, apologies if the volume was a bit too loud. Kind of coming back from holiday, volume levels are a bit all over the place, which is kind of why I keep looking here to try and make sure volume levels don't get too high. Hopefully they're a little bit better now. Apologies if you've lost your hearing, but you know, it's in the disclaimer in the description that I'm not responsible for any physical injuries to any viewers. Unsurprisingly, the Ligue 1 champions... Oh, wait, what? Wow, okay. Whoa, I take that back. So, Olympique Marseille have finally put an end to PSG's dominance in Ligue 1. And it looks like it genuinely did come down to them last few games. Olympique Marseille also beating PSG in the Coupe de France and then winning the final against Saint-Etienne. So, wow, PSG. Obviously, they've got a ridiculously stacked team in this save for people who have been watching since day one. You'll know this. Griezmann, Dembele, De Bruyne, Martial, Embolo, N'Golo Kante, you know, Verratti, Çalhanoğlu. What a team, and they've managed to mess it up. So, talking about that stream save, time to apply for this job. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so Olympique Marseille, Paulo Sousa. So, credit where it's due to Olympique Marseille. That's that for Ligue 1, Auxerre, Dijon, and Valenciennes. Sorry, I can't speak French, but I just like pretending I can pronounce these names. Get relegated. As for La Liga, wow, Atletico Madrid retain what they won last season. Those who remember last season, they were champions, and they've done it by 2 points. Simeone. Once again, working his magic. Let's take a look at their team. They've got no Griezmann as well. They've got Z Gomez up front, Paco Alcacer as well, Højbjerg from Southampton, Kurzawa, Versalco. So, I mean, on paper, the team doesn't really look phenomenal. Probably in comparison to what you'd consider Barcelona or Real Madrid's teams to be. Barcelona still have players like Messi, Neymar, Suarez, brought in players like Aurier, Rugani, who's very good on this game, Roulam at left back, players like Willian as well. Conte, Spanish manager, Barcelona manager, of course, managing to mess that one up. For some strange reason, Real Madrid are third, even though they've got a higher goal difference than Barca, so the rules must be slightly different in Spain. Allegri, Real Madrid manager. Kurt Klug is coming along very, very well. Some people might remember him. We were on the verge of signing him when he was about 16, and Real Madrid came in instead, and yeah, well, that wasn't quite how it went. So basically, they wanted 12 million for him. We bid 12 million. They accepted our bid, right? And they wouldn't accept anything lower than that. And Real Madrid came in with a 5 million bid, and Real Madrid got accepted for 5 million, yet we wouldn't get accepted for that price. And then I guess when he had to choose between Blackburn or Real Madrid, he was always going to choose Real Madrid. So that's that. Cristiano Ronaldo, how does he look nowadays? A little bit slow, obviously. We played Real Madrid last season, I think it was, where Benzema scored against us. 37 years of age, but still on 500k a week. So, yeah, if I can be on a tenth of that salary when I'm his age, I'll be pretty pleased with that. So yeah, that's it for La Liga. Elche, Almeria and Real Oviedo, which is kind of a bit of a disappointing one to see go down. They get relegated. As for the Bundesliga, as we've seen, Bayer Leverkusen managed to win that by 3 points. Bayern really regretting those poor early results. It really did make a difference in the end. Nice to see teams like Gladbach and Köln doing well, getting European spots, but Dortmund in 5th place. You'd kind of still expect Dortmund to be, you know, battling for the Champions League, so that's not really looking good for them. Interestingly, Werder Bremen getting relegated. Frankfurt you could probably expect, and Hanover you'd probably expect as well, but what a poor season it's been for Werder Bremen, going down, on only 24 points. And I think, off the top of my head, that's it really for the main, European leagues that we're going to look at. And just realised we forgot Serie A. So, if we take a look at the table, what an end to the season. Roma managed to retain their title from last year, but not quite as comfortable as last year. They only managed to win it on goal difference. 4 goals between them and AC Milan that helps them retain their title. Got to feel sorry for AC Milan, but at the end of the day, they just didn't do enough. Juve only 1 point behind both teams as well. So, if Juve had maybe drawn an extra game, then they would have won the league. And it would have been the 3 of them on 73 points, with Juve having the most goal difference, which really is an astonishing end to Serie A. Inter Milan getting the 4th Champions League spot, along with some new faces like Torino and Sampdoria getting European spots. Napoli only in 9th place, so obviously we'll find out in the next episode 6 months or 12 months down the line whether or not Napoli managed to secure a spot in the Champions League, having won or lost the Champions League final. However, because Bayern finished second in the Bundesliga, I'm not quite sure whether that still guarantees Napoli a Champions League spot next season, even if they lose the final, because they get the spot the winner gets. So I'm not entirely sure how that works. If you know, let me know in the comments below. No surprises in terms of the teams going down. No surprises either in terms of the fact that Dybala is top scorer in Serie A. But I don't seem to recognise this Tom Jonsson, Swedish striker, seems to be doing pretty good for himself. Very close to getting relegated as well, despite having 16 goals. So I'm sure a lot of teams are going to jump on him this summer, so I'm going to have to make sure I keep an eye on him. But yeah, sad to see teams like Udinese and Lazio not doing too well, but that's how it's going for them at the moment, I'm afraid. And that's it for Serie A. As for what's happening in Portugal, well, no surprise really. As we can see on the right-hand side, Benfica have constantly been dominant. Only a point between them and Sporting in 2nd place, but it really is kind of that 3-legged race, the same as you have in Spain with Atletico, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Pep Guardiola, the Benfica manager. But despite that, we still kind of smashed them 7-1 in the Champions League this season. So I guess it kind of goes to show how much of a difference there is in terms of quality between the Premier League and the Portuguese league. As well, PSV and Feyenoord recently have really been locking horns and fighting for the Dutch title. Ajax really falling behind in terms of, their dominance a few years back. Feyenoord managing to win it this time round. And I think last but not least, before we take a look elsewhere, we go to the Scottish Premiership in hope that Celtic have finally fallen off their throne, but unsurprisingly, that's not quite happened, and Neil Lennon somehow managed to become manager again. As for the Europa League, not only have Atletico Madrid won La Liga, they've also won the Europa League final. I think they will have dropped, they definitely will have dropped into it because they won La Liga last season as well, after probably failing in the Champions League group stages, beating Arsenal. Would have been nice to see Arsenal actually win the Europa League, since, as we know, Arsenal fans are going to have to get used to the Europa League and in real life as well, so it would have been nice to see him do well in it in our little makeshift world. But yeah, 2 trophies this season, 1 European, 1 domestic for Diego Simeone. As for the Sky Bet Championship, relevant because obviously we want to know what teams are going to get promoted into the Premier League next season for when we start streaming the remainder of this save. Burnley have missed out in 3rd place. Yes! West Brom, who went down last season, I think, go straight back up. Mark Hughes, their manager, and given that they've still got players like Darren Fletcher and Johnny Evans, you'd kind of expect them to have done so. Derby County bouncing up. Gareth Ainsworth, their manager. Let's all laugh at Burnley and Bournemouth. And as for the playoff final, I mean, that's the thing about the playoff final, right? I mean, you got to feel sorry for Burnley and Bournemouth. They huffed and puffed all season, and now it's gone completely tits up for them as they both essentially don't even make the playoff final. And the playoff finals, we can probably tell, is going to be Brentford against Brighton. So I guess we'll find out who's going to be in the Premier League next season. on the stream. Or if you're not going to end up watching the stream, if you want a link to my stream, a link to my Twitch will be at the end of this video and in the description below. Go there, hit the follow button if you are interested. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So because we'll be doing 6-monthly or yearly updates still on this YouTube channel for what's going on in this save, even though FM18 will be out, we'll obviously know by then which of these two sides will have got promoted into the Championship. As for the Premier League, we didn't actually focus on who went down. So Aston Villa have managed to relegate themselves by a point. You kind of got to feel sorry for them. Carlo Cudicini, their manager, they went through kind of a period with a managerial change, and they beat Liverpool as well, which probably gave him a glimpse of hope. Didn't quite happen for him in the end. Wolves, with Robbie Stockdale as manager, ended up going down, which isn't really surprising. Kind of disappointing because they kind of maintained themselves in the Premier League like last season when Paul Lambert was their manager, but it doesn't quite seem to have materialised for them. And Cardiff, who actually won the Championship last season, Chris Powell in charge. If you guys remember, I kind of mentioned how cool this guy's beard looked at the time and scouted him. Yeah, they managed only 20 points, so they were well down and out, like probably in March or something like that. But yeah, I think that's it really. We saw, it took us a few years, but we finally conquered, and it wasn't easy whatsoever. We won the Premier League. I think that's pretty much it in terms of the stuff we want to look at. If there's anything anyone thinks I've missed, because there's no World Cup or Euro going on right now in 2022, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong. If anyone thinks I've missed anything, just let me know in the comments below, and we'll take a look at it in 6 months' time, or the next season, depending on when you guys choose you'd prefer to see updates on this save. As far as what I've got planned for FM18, to be brutally honest, I've got some ideas floating through my head. I will be doing a beta save, but I've not really decided on anything. So again, if you have any cool ideas for a beta save, do let me know in the comments below. The beta save will kind of probably just be a season or two, where we won't really care about our final results, but it'll be more about just trying to get used to all these new features they've been announcing, which, to be fully honest, I could have maybe made videos on, but every Tom, Dick and Harry and his uncle has kind of made a video on all the new announcements and given their opinion on them. Personally, I think if I were to give my opinion, given how I play this game and the fact that I'm more interested in the tactical side of things, people wouldn't like my opinion and I'd be a little bit brutal on them. So for that reason, I find that with FM, with a lot of the cosmetic stuff as well, like for example, giving you an example, is kind of like they brought in this new team dynamic thing, but before you start bringing in team dynamics and like overall team meetings before games and whatnot, how about you fix the normal team meetings and stop players like doing illogical shit when you talk to them normally? You get what I mean? Like, it feels like there's so much stuff that's still broken in this game. Instead of adding to it, how about you fix what's already broken rather than just, yeah. But that's what I mean. That's why I've not made a video on these things. But it's because I also give SI the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like with these release videos, you can't really jump to a conclusion about something if you've not played it yourself. Which is why I really want to wait until I've actually experienced a lot of the new things, a lot of the new features, and played them myself before I jump to any conclusions about them and be controversial. Because that's what I'm like. I like to be different, right? Okay. So, episode 100. What a number to kill things off at. I was kind of hoping it would be the episode where we'd win the Champions League, but that didn't quite happen. So maybe for FM18, we should try and aim to win the Champions League rather than just win the Premier League. Yeah. Let me know in the comments how often you'd like to see updates on this save. Follow me on Twitch as well. Hit the subscribe button and the like button under this video if you haven't already done so. And what else have I forgotten? Let me know what you'd like to see me do in FM18 in terms of a beta save, but also in terms of the save that comes after the beta save, in terms of a long-term save. And as always, I've been Kyanite. Thanks for watching.